All right, this is a continuation of the chapter review for Algebra 2. All right, we're on 26. Now this has to do with scatter plots. So you can use scatter plots to show relationships. You can use them to make trend lines. We're going to draw a scatter plot, but we're not just going to draw it by hand. We're going to use the graphing calculator to graph it. Okay, so the first thing I did is I went in my graphing calculator, and under Stat Edit, I entered in the data that was given in the problem. All right, so hopefully you remember how to do that. Stat Edit, enter the data in the problem. Now if I want to view this graph, what I need to do is go to Zoom 9. I believe it was Zoom 9. Let's see. Yeah, Zoom 9 is Zoom Stat, and push enter. Now, it doesn't graph anything. And the reason why is because my stat plot's not on. I forgot to turn it on. Okay, see up here above the y equals where it says stat plot? We're going to push second y equals, and it goes to stat plot, and it's off. Okay, I got to turn it on. So enter turns it on. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to graph. It still doesn't show anything because these numbers are way off. So I'm going to go to Zoom 9. And now it graphs them. You can see that's fairly linear. Oh yeah, by the way, when I typed in this data, I didn't type in 1980, 1985. What I did is I started the first one as 0 and just counted up years from 0 so that it was from 1980. That's a little trick that you should use whenever you're dealing with years. Have the starting year be 0 or something close to the starting year. That makes it easier to graph. Okay, so you can see that there's a line now. This right here, you would be able to draw a best fit line between those. So we're going to draw a trend line and write the equation. Okay, so we're going to start right here. We're going to take a picture of that, and whoops, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, here's the picture, and you could just, sketch it on your paper. I'm going to draw what I think looks like a good trend line. I don't know. What do you think? It kind of goes through, and it's about the same amount of points on each side. All right, write the equation. Now, how do you write the equation? You have to use the graphing calculator. So we're going to go back here to Stat, Calc, and we're going to do linear regression. All right, and enter, enter, and then it gives you the equation. So this right here is the equation of the best fit line. So I'm going to round A to 3 and B to 21 just to kind of make it a little bit easier. So y equals 3x plus 21. Okay. That's the equation. Now we need to estimate the number of cable TV subscribers in 2005. Well, 2005, according to this, if this is year 0 and this is year 5 and 10 and 15 and 20 and 25, this is where 2000 would be, and this would be 2005. So you'd have to go out to 25 for the x value. So this is part B. For part C, I'm going to take 25, which is the number that corresponds to 2005, and plug it into the equation. So y equals 3 times 25 plus 21, and work that out. Let's see, that would be 75 plus 21, which would be 96. Okay, so there would be 96 million subscribers. Okay. Now, if you were to extend this graph, if you were to make your own scatter plot and extend it, you would see that it does in fact go out. If you go out to 25, which is 2005, it does go up to 96 million, and that's a pretty reasonable estimate. I mean, if you look at how much this is going up each time, 96 is a pretty reasonable. I mean, if it was like 96 billion, no, that's not right. Okay. Let's go on to the next problems. Draw a scatter plot for each set of data and decide whether a linear model is reasonable, and if so, draw a trend line and write its equation. Then predict the value of y when x equals 50. Okay, basically this is exactly the same thing. You're going to go in and enter the data on your graphing calculator. You're going to find the equation of the best fit line using linear regression. And then you're just going to plug the x value in your equation to find the y, and that's all you got to do on that. So I'm not going to run through any more of those because it's basically the same thing. Now it says if So draw a trend line to write an equation. It is possible that there's no trend, but you know, you should still take a look at these ones do happen to have trends. Okay, next problem. Now we're getting into the solving or graphing absolute value graphs. And when you're graphing absolute value, you have to go to the standard apps. You know what? I'm going to save this for the next video.